Andrew Tate got arrested, Jeff Neal pulls out of his fight with Shavkat Rachmaninoff, and Dillon, Danis, and KSI fight might be in jeopardy. All this and more in today's episode. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. We're finally going to be talking about the news topic. We still got the news. We got a lot of interesting topics in the past 2 days, so let's get into it. Of course, if you guys aren't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and comment questions for the Q&A on Thursday next week, and let's get into it. Alright, Andrew Tate. Obviously, everyone knows Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate was a kickboxer, retired from that world, and basically began his commentary career, his YouTube career, his influencer career, and basically built his whole brand off being this kind of masculine figure, this overly masculine alpha type character. And it's garnered a lot of attention on social media because he says a lot of controversial stuff, specifically things that people would find, misogynistic or offensive. And for the most part, I believe he's just playing a character. I think a lot of the things he says, he doesn't even believe himself. He just knows he's playing a character. He knows how to play up this character and get views off social media. And it's nothing different than what you would see what Colby Covington would do or Jake Paul. So apparently Andrew Tate and his brother were arrested for partaking in some sort of human trafficking organization. Now, there isn't a lot of details on this, and I will say that Andrew Tate's spokesperson did say that they're maintaining their innocence in this and that they're working with authorities. However, I'm going to give you the story of what's going on and what's being alleged. In Romania, which is where they live, of course, two young women went to the police station and alleged that both the Tate brothers had held them hostage and forced them to make pornographic clips of her and other people, and Andrew Tate would apparently distribute those kind of clips on OnlyFans and things for profit. Obviously, if this is true, this would be a huge violation of her rights. I don't need to say this. And this is going to be a huge deal. This will forever damage the reputation of Andrew Tate if there's any more evidence. And the fact that he was arrested, I'm not really sure on the laws in Romania, but the fact that he got arrested tells me that there at least has to be some sort of evidence of them being held captive or some sort of truth to this. But of course, this is all alleged. There is no evidence of this thus far. And we're just going to have to really pay attention to as this investigation keeps going and if there's any actual evidence of this, because as of right now, there is no evidence other than testimony from alleged victim. So of course, innocent until proven guilty. We're gonna have to wait and see what's going on with Andrew Tate. Alright, Jeff Neal, Shavkat Rachmaninoff, a fight that I was looking forward to, a fight that everyone said should be the main event of this first fight night, is canceled. Yes, unfortunately, Shavkat Rachmaninoff is a huge prospect, undefeated, and a lot of people counted out Jeff Neal going into this. Jeff Neal actually just did an interview the day prior talking about how he thinks he's the guy to beat Shavkat and then pulls out the next day. Now, this is apparently because of an injury, and this can't be too serious because Jeff Neal is saying that he wants to rebook the fight. However, Shavkat might fight Bryan Barberena that day. Bryan Barberena is coming off of his loss against RDA and would be stepping in basically a little over a month after his last fight. Now, if later on they do that Jeff Neal fight, that would be interesting, but it looks like Shavkat might step in on January 14th anyway and fight a totally different opponent. Now, obviously, Shavkat is a guy that's a huge deal right now, and people are comparing him to the likes of Hamzat and the fact that they're both scary guys and the fact that nobody wants to fight them, and they're both undefeated. Now, this is a huge L for Shavkat because fighting Jeff Neal would get him closer to that top 5, and if he fought Jeff Neal, then he probably would be closer to fighting a guy like Colby, Usman, some of those top 5 guys. And this is also, I guess, a huge L for Jeff Neal because Jeff Neal could have shocked the world and had the opportunity to beat Shavkat. Announced that he's injured and maybe the fight will be rebooked. I know that's what Jeff Neal wants, but I saw some people on Twitter saying Hamzat, get him Hamzat, let him fight Hamzat. Hamzat is not the fight to make. Look, I want Hamzat and Shavkat Rachmaninoff to fight more than the next guy, but the truth is that there needs to be more hype to this. Let's get Shavkat another name, another big name, and have these two undefeated guys fight each other. That would be a massive fight and a fight that a lot of people would be looking forward to. So I say let's generate a little more hype to this first. Shavkat hasn't really fought anybody in the top 10, I believe. He last fought Neil Magny. I think he was in the top 10 or just outside the top 10. So who knows? Obviously, Shavkat has a lot of promise in the future. So I hope he fights then and maybe gets another opponent, and then maybe at the end of the year we have some sort of Hamzat fight. Final story of the day, KSI, Dillon, Danis obviously going down same day, January 14th. But Dillon actually came out in an interview recently saying that the fight might not actually happen.
But now, between us, I don't know when it's going to come out. I feel like this fight won't happen. And then they're trying to make weird things in the contract now 2 weeks before. I feel like they're looking for a way out.
I would love to know what you mean when you say handicap. What are the new things they're suggesting? Something to do with the weight?
Hydration clause where I can't be... So the fight's at 177. I'll make the weight the day before, like everybody is. I'm a professional. I don't miss weight. They want me to be 4 pounds a day, 4 pounds heavier the day of the fight. And if every pound that I don't make the weight on the second day, I get a penalty, which is very heavy.
And this is not a surprise because look, a lot of people have been saying Dillon is looking for a way out. Dillon is going to get out of this fight. And I was one of those people. You see, Dillon Danis explains that there's a rehydration clause that they want to put into the contract 2 weeks earlier before the fight that makes it so that he can't rehydrate over 5 pounds. Obviously, fighters usually they weigh in, dehydrate themselves, hydrate themselves, and gain about 10 to 20 pounds afterwards. In this case, Dillon Danis would not be able to and would have to basically weigh in around 177.5, which is where the fight is going to take place. Now, KSI's team has actually refuted this and said, hey man, we did not put this in 2 weeks earlier. This was signed as soon as he was given the contract. This was always the contract, which I agree with because I did a video about this where I broke down the Tyron Woodley contract that was leaked, and in that contract there was a rehydration clause in that contract, which makes me believe that there was also a rehydration contract with Dillon Danis. So I believe KSI's team there, but props to KSI's team because they said, you know what, we don't want to risk this fight being canceled. We don't want him to get an excuse. We're going to remove the rehydration clause on a few weeks notice, and now Dillon Danis could weigh in at whatever he wanted the day before. Now look, this is a fight that I'm excited for. The closer and closer we get to, because Dillon seems so confident, KSI seems so confident. Personally, going into this, I think both these guys aren't very good. I would like to see a little more skill from both of these guys, and don't sleep on Dillon because Dillon has been training boxing for a bit now. He was supposed to fight Jake Paul like they said, so he's been training about 2 years or so in boxing. His striking might not be the same as that Bellator fight that he had was, and like I said, I don't really rate KSI's boxing too much. I don't think he's really that good of a technical boxer, but as we get closer, we'll be talking about the fight more and more in that fight card because that's a really interesting fight card. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think Dillon Danis is going to pull out? Who should replace Dillon Danis so he pulls out? Are you guys excited for the fight? Let me know about any of these stories. Leave questions for the Q&A next Thursday. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like if you did. I'll see you guys in the next one.